I would say, I would not feel bad if you decided to skip out on Sunday and go see it, because it is a huge, huge, huge site. It's impressive. But don't go on Saturday because we got lots of fun stuff going on Saturday. And
and if you're just looking to get your arcade fix, we do have one of the biggest arcades in North America here in the area. They also just opened up a sister site for pinball. So for something like $20 or $30, you can go play pinball and go to their arcade for the entire day.
Good point.
Goers, give some of that coffee to John Mark. I don't want him dropping off there. I think we lost him already. Annette, don't throw that audio on me.
I can't help it. When you're scrolling through, you don't know.
And by the way, Jim, make sure you tell your daughter to cook more cookies and brownies this time.
Yeah, I heard she's coming.
Yeah, well, she sold out at the BSF Midwest like in the first half day. Uh-oh. You okay, Jim?
Yes, she did. And I mean, we decided that she should probably go a little lighter than normal because we weren't sure who all was going to show up. And I think she didn't go that light. She baked 4 pans of brownies and I don't know, 36 or 48 cookies. But they were gone by the middle of the afternoon on Saturday. And we had a whole bunch of very disappointed people on Sunday. So
yeah, and also you need to tell her to take credit cards too.
We can do that this year. In fact, I bought one of those handy dandy credit card machines. Looky there. So,
oh wow!
I know. It's all on the prime time, so she can use that.
Yeah, so you definitely tell her to make more than, because I'll probably purchase 10 of them right off the bat.
Jim, if people miss it on Sunday, I got the question. For years, John Strong has been taking the total picture on Sunday as we exit.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. So Sunday's out too.
Think about
it. Okay.
I don't know if he signed up to do it, but I hadn't heard that he had, but he has been.
Well, he's on. We can ask him.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I'm going to call the meeting to order. Thanks for everybody for joining. We are streaming on YouTube and Facebook, so there's that. And tonight we'll announce the winners or the results of our 2021-22 officer elections. Our resident person who's going to announce them doesn't look like they have joined yet, so we'll defer that until they get here. And I think Tony is probably not going to join us tonight because he is excuse me, he is traveling. So I'll give some Cocofest updates if people have questions, and then Eric, I'm hoping maybe you can give a small update on the club item cleaning that was done. But the first thing I want to do is offer the microphone to Rich with the secretary report for September, sorry.
Well, I hope my minutes speak for themselves. Well, the question is just, does anybody have any questions about them? I actually put 2 questions in the minutes that are to prod us to make sure some things get done. Do we have lanyards yet is one of the questions.
We do. We do have lanyards as of today.
They arrived today?
They did arrive. Yes, they did.
Excellent.
So we have those.
Can you describe them?
I can show them to you if you want.
Double-sided?
They're probably going to... I'm sorry?
Double-sided.
They're long and stringy.
They are long and stringy. I don't know how well they're going to show on the screen, but let's see. here's what they look like.
Ooh, fancy.
I don't know. Let me see if I can turn them around so they they repeat, but this is what they say. Let me see. There we go. So,
They even got our badge on it.
yeah, the badge is right here. So, actually,
Is the
right
printing
there.
double-sided on the ribbon?
It is printed double-sided on the ribbon.
Okay.
So, whoops, let me turn it around here so you can. There we go. So there's the ID.
Hey,
Looks,
Jim,
looks like a child's mitten flip.
is that a 2D barcode on the back or a 3? What do they call it? A 3D barcode?
It's a QR code. Yep, this one. So this one is the
contacts to our phones with those.
We could, yes, that's a good idea. I was going to ask tonight. I've got space for another QR code. This one is for the show schedule, but this one is open, so we could do something else with it. Yeah, they do. I mean, I worked with Sherry. I don't know. Maybe they'll grow on me the lanyard connector. It seems a little weird, but anyway, that's what they are. So you can all hate me. You can all not hate me. I don't really care. I decided that we weren't getting anywhere with the conversation on the lanyards a couple months ago. And so I decided that I was going to get some lanyards and I was going to just buy them. And if the club likes them, the club can refund my money, which was $125 for 100 of these things because I got a special. Or I found out online, Eric and I looked online and you can buy the regular like green kind of ropey type lanyards for about $31 for 100 of them. So if you guys don't want to pay me for them and you want to just reimburse me for the $31, I'm okay for that too. But I decided I wanted a cool lanyard, and if people don't like lanyards, I'll bring some of the really cheap ones that I have laying around the house, and they can use those. So there you go.
$1.25 for one of them.
I figured.
So
Jim, I think those look cool. I would make a motion that the club reimburse you in full.
I second that.
Second
Well, okay. Well, I tell you what,
I'd say I think we only need to reimburse them 50%.
Sorry, there's a motion on the floor.
Yeah, I was gonna say we actually yeah, I guess we have a motion on the floor. So I guess all those in favor.
We didn't get discussion on it. We didn't.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's right. You're right, Bob. If there's any discussion on the topic,
my discussion would be is I can't come and get one. Could one be set aside for me?
I will mail you one, Bob, so you have it the day of the show. How about that?
Oh, well, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other discussion?
I hope that makes the news in time that others like myself could enjoy the same privilege.
And actually, I would actually say we might want to have our friends in Canada or Canada, however you guys want to say that, that we might be able to mail them one too. So since they can't come to the fest on their own record, they can at least maybe.
I will ask them if they want one. I can do that.
Yeah, of course, you may not have to pay for shipping and whatever, but.
Yeah, I'm not really gonna. Well,
we won't. We shouldn't take an action to do such a thing though before the fest. So I'll be glad to wait for mine.
Okay.
Any more discussion? I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand.
Okay.
Any other discussion?
How much?
Bob, we'll make sure that you'll get one on the day of fest. So make sure you're home to sign for it.
That's right. Okay, got that. And Eric, sorry that you had something.
What was the grand total of all the costs for the printer and everything?
The grand total was. Hold on here. Where's the? She gave me the receipt. Give me a second. I believe.
I just lost something myself.
Yeah, I got so much stuff going on here. What's her name? There it is. Invoice. The total was $151.89. That was $18 in freight and $8.75 in sales tax.
Well, that's
Did
everything
I
in regards
did I
to the
hear the
lanyard and the badges that you need
That
to
was
be paid for.
Oh, no, sorry. If you want the badges, they were uh, they were 10 cents extra a piece, and the printer or the print ribbon was $31. So it's 10, 30, it's $41 and $151. So just a little under $200 total.
How much was the printer?
I'd like to
Yeah.
I'd like to modify the motion that everything be paid for. That is, printer, supplies, whatever it took. That total is what will be reimbursed to Jim Brain. That's my
Well,
I would
modification.
second that.
I will counter that just a little bit because I'm not sure. I mean, the printers, I got two of them, and the printers are, I mean, they're not super cheap. They're about $120 a piece, and I don't know if people really want to own the printers because we're only going to use them once a year. So I'm happy to just own them and just let you guys use the printers for free if you'll pay for the ribbon.
Whatever you decide.
I think that's fine. If
How
you
much-
guys can pay for the ribbons and the badges and the lanyards, I'm happy.
$50 an hour labor, right?
No, I'm not gonna worry about that. It was fun to figure them out. It was cute.
The
Anyway,
printers were 120 each.
yes, they were.
Oh,
They were.
okay.
Normally they're about $900 a piece, but I got some used ones and fixed them.
Oh, wow.
Jim?
That's nice.
What I'm proposing is that whatever the bill you send
Yep.
us for the job, you get reimbursed for it. And
That's fine.
that's the end of that modification. I think we're ready for a vote.
I will
Okay.
second that motion.
Okay, so Rich, did you get that? I'm sorry we're stomping on your secretary report, but we'll get to it. Okay, without further discussion,
Delete.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Okay.
None.
Okay. Motion carries. I appreciate that. I thought it was fun. I was going to do it anyway. Just so you're aware, this is what the printer looks like.
Jeez.
It's very boring,
Okay.
but
Like a
But it,
toaster.
That's what we use at work for our badges.
yep, and that's what it is. It's a badge printer, and then you load the badges in there. So, and the badges, the ones that we're bringing to the show have little slots in the top, as you can see right there. So they're already pre-slotted.
No
Huh?
RFID, right? So you're not gonna
Ye-
track this from space.
Yeah, sorry, I bought the cheaper printer that doesn't do RFID. My bad. Although I think one of the printers I bought can do not a barcode, but a mag stripe on the back. But there's not enough time for me to get one of those fixed before the show. So anyway, I appreciate that. Thank you. I wasn't necessarily, I didn't necessarily carry the way. I know the badges or the lanyards were a little bit of a contentious subject, but I liked the way they turned out. I hope you all do when you get there. Right now, though, we should finish up Rich's secretary report. You had one other question because we kind of got off the rails on the first
I
question.
notice we've got Bruce Moore and Tony are presently online.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Tony, I wasn't thinking you'd be here tonight. Nice to have both of you on.
And Hawksoft is here. Hello, Chris.
Oh, hey, Chris.
Oh,
So
I see
Rich,
Randy made it too.
hey, Randy. So do you know what the other question is? I can,
The other question was, how will we do the traditional drawings, hat drawings, when we don't
Okay.
have badge stubs?
I have not figured that out yet, mainly because I didn't know how it was done in previous years. If somebody will tell me, I don't need to know right now, but if somebody will, after the meeting, maybe stay on for a few minutes and tell me how it was done, I will figure out how to do it with these badges.
Well, it was very simple before. We just had stubs from all of the badges that we created because they were made out of paper. and
Yep.
put all the stubs
Well,
in a hat and had drawings.
so I can print out a second label or second card for every one of the people that gets a card. So I could easily print out a second one with a number on it if that's what we want to do, and then just drop the extra card into somewhere to do a drawing if that's what you would
What
like.
about just writing a number on the back of your card like they do at Tandy Assembly?
I don't see how you'd collect it. Well, what if we know the name of the person being drawn? The person doesn't have to be there. We should have their address and could get them their gift.
Yeah, I think the only question Rich was having is how do I put the name in the hat, right? Is that what you were asking, Rich?
Yes.
Because you don't have a stub. So somehow we need to create a stub with the person's name or something on it to put in the. What do? You put them in different boxes or something?
A hat.
Or
Just threw them all in
okay.
a hat. We had our
Okay.
official hat.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, I mean,
Well, I'm
but-
happy
but-
to. Oh, go ahead, Randy.
I mean, I don't. Could we require that you be there to get a drawing? That you're,
Yeah,
you're there.
I thought in
No,
previous
no,
years, that's what
I
we
don't
did.
think we should.
What have we
Why?
done in the past? I guess.
I thought you had to be there in the past.
In previous years, you had to be there.
I was going to say,
No.
I think that was the way it was in the last couple times
Tony,
I've been there.
Tony,
Because
is
in
that
that,
true? Tony's here.
because
Let's ask him.
I know.
So hold on, Tony. Or sorry, Randy, and then Tony. Randy.
So I was gonna say, if you do have to be there, we could just do a standard roll of tickets where you have the ticket stubs and you know like the drawings at raffles and stuff, and you just
Mhm.
you go to the office store and buy a roll of raffle tickets, and then we give you the number, the little ticket, and then we keep one for the drawing, and then we just pick out and call out the number, and then people look at their ticket and see if they got their number.
I'm okay.
That works. That works if you're there.
Yeah, that's true.
Um,
Tony. Tony
No
may not be able
audio.
to.
Tony's
Yeah, he may
muted
not be
right
able to. Yeah. Oh, there he is. Hey,
I
Tony.
see you.
We can hear you. Or well, we should be able to hear you. Hello, Tony. If you're saying something, we can't hear you. Sorry. Okay. Well, I'm happy to take any and all of those options and consider them. So we got something to do. I figured I'd figure that out in the next few weeks. So I haven't got it figured out yet, Rich.
That's an easy one
I'm
anyway.
working on it. Yeah. Okay. So.
Terry wants the floor.
Oh, sorry, Terry. Go ahead.
Jim, that's right. I was just curious, when you do these to that printer, are you?
Yep.
Is this like a comma delimited file that you're sending to the printer, or are you typing them in one at a time?
It's a comma. It accepts an Excel file, and it's like a mail merge.
So when that's done at the end, can we not just print out that format the spreadsheet with all the names, and
Yeah.
and just cut them out by hand? Would that work, or make labels or something from them?
Yep, we could do that. I've got a thing that prints out labels as well, so I've got a number of different options. So yeah, I could do. You're right. I can do a mail merge and just print out a little piece of paper for each one of these as well. Yep.
Okay, just a thought. Just figured, don't want to
That's
buy more of those cards if you don't have to, but
well, yeah. I mean, I was
Well,
thinking, Go ahead, Randy.
Well, it would be for folks that have come to the fest. I mean, people could have prepaid, or also people who pay at the door won't have a prepaid slip or whatever, or a pre-printed slip.
Yeah, I was gonna. The only
So-
thing I was thinking to your point, Randy and Terry, is I was gonna bring the printers to the show so that we could print out cards for people who are there at the show. I was thinking if I printed up the double cards, yeah, it's another 10 cents a card. But on the other hand, I don't have to bring two printers. I could just bring a printer and whatever. But I think Randy's point is also valid in that buying a roll of those the two coupons on a roll, right? They're just a big roll of coupon or whatever they're called, tickets. Those are pretty cheap too. So either one of those options would be a really good option, I think. Okay.
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 And
So
if
okay.
on the ticket that got left to us, they'd simply put their last name on there, we'd get to them. If they were there or not, if they left Sunday.
Yeah, I don't know why. I'm assuming the reason that we asked for people to be there was because we didn't want to get left with an item. We wanted to make sure that everybody left with their items so we didn't have to ship it to people.
Amen.
But
Okay.
I think that's probably why it was done. But I tell you what, at this point, we're already making a lot of changes. Maybe we keep this one the way it is this year, and then we can look at maybe modifying it next year. It'll give us a little bit more runway. I wasn't sure until today whether I was going to have lanyards, and I wasn't sure until last week if I was going to have a printer. So everything's kind of come together at the last minute. Okay. Rich, anything else on your
No, I just
meeting
want to know
minutes
if anybody has any comments on the minutes.
Okay.
My only comment was I didn't get my minutes. I had to go another way around. Somebody sent me a link, but
I sent you a link. Yep.
Yeah, it seems to me Richard could have sent the link.
Well, I think Rich is looking to automate. So I think Rich is looking to potentially step out of this role. So, right. And he may have an opportunity to do so, I think, depending on the voting results.
Yeah,
so.
But what I'm saying is if he could email me, he certainly could write the link in the email as you did.
Well, I will let Rich, tackle
or
that.
whoever.
Yep.
Or goers, yeah.
Well, the minutes go out a week before the meeting. Do you need them before that time?
Eric, what are you asking?
He's asking if you need the minutes right
with the meeting announcement, and the meeting announcement goes out a week before the meeting. So, do you need the minutes before that time period?
No, I simply needed them before this meeting so I could read them and be ready if there was any changes needed. That's all.
Yeah. So for the next minutes, then you should expect them like the Saturday or Sunday before that week's meeting.
Yeah. Well, the email got out in time. It's just there was no link, and I couldn't get there. I couldn't.
Sorry.
What kind of messages idiot drivers are trying to get? They fly past me. Stop on the brakes.
Hey, we can hear you now, Tony. Did you have something you wanted to say?
Well, are you guys okay?
They're brake checking you is what they're doing.
I muted him. So, okay. Any other, like Rich is saying, is there anybody have any questions or comments on the meeting minutes?
I found none.
Okay. I'd entertain a motion to accept the meeting minutes of September.
I so move.
Okay. Bob is moved. Grant Leedy seconds. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Any opposed? Okay.
That's what I like, quietness.
Okay. On the next topic is the treasurer's report. So I'm going to bring up treasurer's report here. Brian, are you ready for the treasurer's report?
Sure.
Okay. Hold on here, and I will.
Some question about a refund fee.
Yep.
I forgot the exact question. Somebody got paid back $25, and the concern was, why didn't we just pay back minus our fee? Yep. And I printed off the policy from PayPal, and it's if you refund a payment for goods or services, there are no fees to issue the refund, but the fees you originally paid as a seller are not returned to you. So if we pay them back just what we received, and we're paying them back their full amount, which is like 30% and 2.9% and 30 cents, something like that.
Yep.
It's not a whole lot of money.
No, I think the question was, I think the question on the report, so I'll go ahead and bring it up here. The question is more of, so the person paid $25 somewhere, and we ended up getting $23 of that, $23.64
Right.
or something in a previous month. I think this was one for, maybe it was the one there for $8.29. I don't know. But I think the key
Probably
is
July.
when they refund, they normally take the $23.64 from our account, and then they make it whole by paying the funds that they paid or that they took when they initially gave us the money. That was the question.
And I think the answer was that that's exactly what they do.
Okay. But then in that
Comment?
case, yeah, go ahead, Tony.
I've done a very little bit of research on that, but I did come up with the fact that on the refunds that were issued, if they were paid in 2020 and are past 180 days, the service charges are not refunded.
Okay. Do we know if that was the reason why this one was done this way?
It could have been.
Okay. Well, I guess it's up to the, okay, so that's that one, and then we've got the 2009 one here. So is there any questions on the 2009? Here, let me make it a little bigger so that everybody can see it. There we go. Does anybody have any questions about the the September what am I trying to say? The treasurer's report, sorry.
Yeah. Little mind block there, huh?
Yep. Trying to make it bigger. So anybody, it looks like we started the month at 14,064 and we had some puts and takes and we ended up at a little bit higher, about $20 higher. So any questions?
Not a question, but something that I've said before. I think we should make the description column bigger, and anytime there's a fest registration, at least put somebody's name there so we know who it was.
Okay. Well,
Did
Brian,
we want to post everybody's name for payments and registration?
Yeah, I guess, Rich, that's a good question. I think, well,
the
maybe
privacy stuff.
Yeah, what if we use like a I don't know. I mean, I think Brian makes a good point. There's a privacy concern there since we post these online.
Yeah, imagine someone's donation. We don't necessarily want to put their name next to it unless they want to be recognized.
Okay, I cede the point there.
Okay.
But I think we should have a record somewhere that's not public.
Yep. I don't know if Tony's listening, but he does have such a report. He knows. Since 2019, all those people. He's got the names tied to the PayPal number.
Yep.
In his spreadsheet.
He has it in his spreadsheet. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Excuse me.
Okay. I'm sorry,
I had
Tony.
To step away. I had to step away for a moment. We can get a listing of all of the transactions. In fact, I've downloaded a couple of them directly from a couple of listings over the months of all the transactions since we opened up for the fest in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
I can do that again and forward that to you. There are other ways I could.
I don't necessarily know. I'm not asking for that information myself.
Yeah, I don't think he needs it imminently. He was just thinking strategically or proactively. But as long as we have a record of it somewhere, and you do, I think we're covered. I think that was the question on the floor, and the answer is you do have a record of the transactions and who made them, so I think we're good.
Okay.
Every transaction that was made by PayPal that I am aware of, Jim, I've got to do
Yep.
some follow-up homework for you. You know that.
Yep. Yep.
And I'll
Yep.
try to get that done by Saturday, if not tomorrow. The
Okay.
my word, is that Devil's Tower? Sorry. Every PayPal transaction that I'm aware of for the people that have registered either as exhibitors or as attendees is recorded in Cocofest 2021 spreadsheet.
Okay. Right. I withdraw my question.
Okay.
Or my
Okay.
comment.
Sounds good. So we need to do these in order. So last month we deferred the approval of the 2021 August report because we had a question around this. And then we also have the 2021 September report. So I'd be happy to entertain a motion to approve the August Treasurer's report.
I move that.
Okay, so
I
that's
second.
so Grant has seconded, Rich has motion moved, and let me whoops, wrong thing here, reset. And so all those in favor of approving
Aye.
the August?
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. And then the September report, entertaining a motion for approval of that.
Got
I'll
it.
make a motion.
Okay, I got Bob, and then Terry, you want a second?
Sure.
Okay, Terry will second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Any opposed? Okay, both motions carry. So I'm going to
Question
stop
while we're
sharing.
online.
I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Has the fest rooms been paid for fully, or do I pay them when I arrive there?
They have not asked for payment as yet, so figuring it's keep the money in our bank account as long as possible.
Okay.
I'm sure. But
I'll be able
Vicky
to pay it
did want to talk to
there.
me. Huh? Yeah, she seemed okay with paying at the time of the show. But I do need to. You do make a good point. I need to call her tomorrow because she wanted to finalize some things. There was the block room rate is going to finish up tomorrow and some other things. So thanks for reminding me. I need to call her.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Because I can bring checks or
Got people
PayPal
ahead.
credit card.
Yep.
Either way,
Sorry,
we can
somebody.
get it paid for.
Sorry, excuse me.
Okay.
Go ahead, Tony.
Okay.
Tony,
Get
go
your
ahead.
hotel-
Okay. Sorry. Who? Somebody needing the floor?
Eric here. I'm
Okay.
just saying, make sure you get your hotel room booked.
Oh yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna give small update for Cocofest. Tony's on as well. Tony, do you have anything to start out? I can provide some updates. Nope, looks like Tony is on mute. So as I indicated, probably before the meeting started, we've got a number of people that are planning to attend. I mean, obviously, some of the folks pay at the door and whatnot, but I can look up on Tony's list. I have the one from just about a week or so ago. Let me see here. I can do a search here and tell you who all is listed as paid and going right now. So I have 56 people who have indicated that they want to eat dinner, and I have 31 prepaid attendees, and then I've got another 30 individuals, looks like, who are planning to come. So looks like we've got just a little bit, around 60, maybe just a little bit more. Some of the people they have a guest, so it doesn't record them individually. That's who we have currently kind of on the docket to attend. And I think somebody mentioned earlier, there's 13 tables that are still open. And somebody was mentioning before the meeting started that there were folks that might like take the tables that day or something like that. Because I was thinking, if we're not going to need the tables, we potentially could open up some of the walkways a little bit and maybe not put so many tables in the space. But I'm open to suggestions on that. We can leave the layout the way it is, or we can reconfigure it a little bit to offer a little bit more walking space.
Yeah, Eric here. I'd like to open up the walkways a little bit. When I designed the layout, it was for a lot of people, and with COVID, we're going to lose a lot of people. So.
Yep. So the other I obviously showed everybody the lanyards and the badges and whatnot. I've got the agenda or the schedule. I'll bring it up here real quick. It's tentative, so be aware of that. But I will share it here. Let me get it up on the website. Give me a second. Should have gotten ahead of that. So, Cocofest. When you need something to come up very quickly, it always takes forever. So I don't know what the deal is there. But
welcome
anyway,
to computers.
That's right. Okay, so let me share this. Okay. See, it is in Google. So let me.
Hand raised.
2020. Yes.
We have one more possible talk. Probable
yep.
talk, I should say. I don't know if I forwarded you the email, but Fabian has volunteered himself to do a talk on Cocoa Bites, something like cocoa camaraderie in Latin America.
Okay.
I have not yet placed it on the list via time-wise, but again, it just came up yesterday, and I've not been in pocket and haven't had internet service a couple of times, so thought I'd let you know there's another person.
Okay, well, we've got one, maybe two more slots. So currently, I've got up on the screen the tentative agenda or schedule. The club will have access to the room from 8 o'clock until 4:30. The plan is to open for exhibitors to set up starting at 5 o'clock. These are Central Time. And then I assume this part means that we're going to kind of finish up around 9 or so, probably lock the doors for Friday night. Saturday, we'll do a little bit more exhibitor setup at 7 o'clock until 9. The show opens at 9 o'clock. We've got a Saturday presentation by Curtis Boyle at 10. John Strong's got one at 11. We've got a lunch period scheduled in. And then we've got a trio of folks that are going to be doing some stuff, or talking about game development at 1 o'clock. And then there is currently scheduled a panel discussion at 2 o'clock, followed by the no minimum bid auction from 3 until 6. And then dinner. I put 2 hours for dinner. That's probably too long, but whatever. And then, of course, the evening is whatever we want to make of it. And then we'll probably close up around midnight. Any questions on Friday and Saturday?
Curtis Boyle isn't going to be there.
He's going to do his virtually.
Oh.
Yep. And so is Nick Marinis and Paul Fiscarelli. I don't know if Paul Thayer is going to be in person or not. I doubt it. These three people are also going to be most likely remote. Okay. Nick is in Australia, and Paul and both the Pauls, I think, are unable to make it this year physically. So that's the Friday and Saturday agenda. Sunday, we've got another presentation by Rick Adams in the morning at 10 o'clock after the show opens at 9. And then I've got Alan Huffman. Still waiting on a title for his presentation at 11. We've got 2 more slots potentially in the afternoon. And then about 3 o'clock, we'll start the teardown. 5 o'clock, we'll lock the doors. And then I'm assuming everybody will go out for pizza or something at the conclusion of the time. So that is the tentative schedule. And I will post, it's available online, publicly available. I'll put a link to it on the Cocofest page. And that's what this, let's see, that's what this, what am I trying to say here? The QR code on the back of the schedule, that points to this document, so people can get to this document in case we change it.
Richard has
Any
a question.
questions? Yeah.
Richard has a question.
Yeah, Rich.
Typically, we've typically had Sunday auctions too. Has that been given up?
Oh, I don't know. I'm sorry.
No, I second the question because, yeah, he is correct. Usually it's Saturday and Sunday. So I was just curious whether this year it was only going to be on Saturday.
You know what? I may have missed hold on. It's possible that was my bad. Let me see. I made this version from Tony's original. So Tony, are you? Yeah, he's still on mute.
Can you hear me?
Oh, no, he's not. Yeah, we can hear you now. Did I miss something?
No, I'm not muted now.
No, you're not.
Okay. I have purposely not put anything on Sunday at this point because we 3 hours on Saturday. I'm trying to get through all of the material. You can always do a mulligan auction on Sunday, but don't want to interrupt the schedule for the speakers, not knowing how many more we had come in. And if we're going to close at 3, we would probably have to start that auction by 1 o'clock.
So I guess it depends on whether we end up with speakers in the afternoon, Rich.
Correct.
Okay.
So looks like I did not copy it incorrectly. So Tony's, I mean, I'm sure it's fluid, and we can talk through it if we want to schedule one, or we want to. I don't think we can push the. We got to be out of there by 5 o'clock on Sunday, so I don't think we can push that any later. But if we want to, now we have an option of on Sunday we could start we could put in a presentation at 9 o'clock, and do a presentation then, and then use these 2 these 2 hours for another auction if we want. So I guess if you want to do that, then I suppose you ought to put a motion on the floor to do it, or an abbreviated one, or whatever.
I'd make a motion to do it if we can, but Tony is the head of the show.
Okay.
He'll make the decision.
That's fine.
What we're doing is tentatively having a Sunday one if we need it.
Okay.
That's the motion.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, isn't that based on whether we have stuff left over from the first auction, like we run out of time?
We've never done that. In 29 years, we've never done it.
We've
never done what?
In 29 years, we've never run out.
We've never.
No, what I mean is, run over on time, and not able to auction off everything.
Well, then we put it away for 4 months.
That's probably not what we want to do, and
No.
we'd like to leave there with nothing if we can.
Never
Don't
happened.
Don't we presently have a strategy that we're going to have something left over, and we know where we're going to keep it with that other group?
We don't have it firmed up yet, but they're I mean, I was going to talk to Jason Timmons and Michael Lee about an option to do that, but I will say that I think you're both right. We never run out of stuff. However, this year, I think Randy does have a good point. We've got a lot of stuff that we don't want to take back and put in people's houses, even if we don't end up using any additional space. We've got more than we can store in people's houses with the whatever the number of the 26 containers or whatever that were at Bob's house. So I think it's entirely okay to go ahead and say, you know what, if we have stuff left over and we've got the time, let's go ahead and have that
2-hour auction.
Yeah, they have that 2-hour auction in the afternoon.
Because we have dozens of bins from Bob. I've got a dozen bins here. Tony, I think, still has things. So we're going to have a lot of inventory. Now, I would like to save, of course, some of it for May, for the May Cocofest. But yeah, I don't think we have to. I don't think we have to worry about running out of stuff.
Okay.
What we don't want to do is let it get into a landfill.
Yep, understood. So I have a motion on the floor. I have a motion on the floor to attempt to put together a Sunday auction sometime before Sunday concludes. But up to the discretion of the show organizer whether we can pull it off or not. Does anybody want to second that motion?
Well, I have one question, because normally we have a club meeting also on Sunday after lunch. Is that not going to happen this year either?
I don't remember that we've always had that. We did used to have that, but I think in the last few we didn't have the club meeting. But maybe I was wrong.
I think we
Yeah,
did.
because that's where Tony usually would announce that yes, we're having another Cocofest or.
Oh, okay. Well,
status. Yeah.
Tony
It's not a real
yeah,
meeting.
Tony. Yep. Tony,
I'm listening. I heard.
what do you what's your statement on that?
Since we're going to open up the show at night, I say we all come with full bellies, and we can just open the show at 8 o'clock and have we'll filter in, and by 8:15, 8:30, start to have a meeting.
Okay, that's fine. Okay.
Go ahead. We don't have anything else in at that slot, seminars or anything. So
No, we don't.
Why don't we do an 8:15 Glenside Club meeting?
That's
Okay.
8:15 p.m.
Sunday morning, you mean?
PM.
PM.
Cool.
Wait a
Okay.
minute. What day and what time? Please repeat the
Saturday
day and time.
evening.
8:15 p.m.
Okay, Saturday, 8:15 p.m. Okay.
Yep.
And is this going to replace our November meeting,
No.
or
Let's
it's an
see.
addition? Okay.
Yeah, it's an addition.
Okay.
Okay.
That's why it's not necessary. That meeting is not necessary.
Okay.
It's also announce if we'll
It
have
was
the show
just to
next
make
year.
a few announcements. That's all.
That's good.
Okay.
Comment.
Okay. Well. Yep.
Bob,
Go ahead.
a central meeting on the third week in November, I think, is necessary, because we're going to need to have to make some rapid decisions on venue, the dates for 2022 meeting, so we can get that off the ground and rolling way before January, when we have typically opened up list registration.
I think you may have misunderstood him. He is saying that we would continue to have a November meeting. This would be in addition to the regular November meeting.
I apologize. Thank you.
Yep, that's okay. So I put that in. I don't see any issue with that. I just made an executive decision to put it in there. So, but I do want to finalize the. We have a motion on the table for a second auction on Sunday afternoon. If we can arrange it. So anybody who wants to second that.
I'll second it.
Okay, Grant seconded. Any discussion on that?
Yeah, we want to call it a tentative.
Okay,
Tentative. Okay.
that's fine.
As decided by the inner circle.
That's fine. So
Okay.
that's fine. I'll no minimum bid auction. So I have it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay. So we have it there. Grant, does that, or whoever was asking originally, or no, it was Rich. Does that that satisfy your question?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so this is the tentative schedule and obviously subject to change. Let's see, what's the other ones? We've got I have to give the numbers for the food tomorrow. So I've asked people to let us know by tomorrow if they're interested in I guess I have to choose the food options tomorrow, and the food options are the choices are, or the selection was London broil and pork loin with garlic mashed potatoes and a dessert and trying to think what the other what else there was. I think there's seasonal veggies. So that's the buffet menu for the fest. So I guess if anybody is interested in that and hasn't told us that they are going to eat at the community dinner, I need to know pretty soon because I have to give them the final number a week before, which would be not this weekend, but next weekend. I'm gonna have to give the final number, and I have to finalize the menu tomorrow. So I will finalize the menu tomorrow, and the block rate or the block rooms will go away tomorrow, and then the number of menu or the number of dinners they're going to make has to be finalized next Friday. Any questions?
Yes,
I
I have a
request
question.
an audit.
Hold up. Okay, so I got somebody, and then I got Grant. Who was the first
I
person?
was joking. Go ahead.
Brian.
Okay, Brian, go ahead.
Yeah, just a real quick question is, how can one check to make sure that they have already paid for the dinner?
Talk to Tony.
Is it on the Tandy list if they've already paid and such?
No, it is not.
Okay,
No, it is not.
that's all.
That's okay. Okay, and Grant, I assume you were joking. What were you asking?
Oh no, I just think we need to have an audit of that count, please. I think you discriminated against the meatloaf.
You know what? I probably did discriminate against the meatloaf. I can't believe meatloaf. Actually, you know what? Fine. I tell you what. Here is the.
I'm joking, Jim. I'm joking.
No. You know you've
That thing on the right is your dinner.
You pulled the bar. You pulled the horse out of the barn. Let's see where it goes. So
one holds his head in the water.
That's right. Let me see what we've got here. Okay, well, the numbers aren't showing up. So why are the numbers not showing up? Okay, hold on. I can get the original
See,
number.
I requested an audit and I was right.
Oh, it's going here. It's going. Why is it not showing up? Come on, bring in the numbers. All right, well, you know what? We'll go to the original one. Hold on here.
I demand a recount.
So here is the original. Here are the original numbers. Meatloaf, chicken. Let me see what the totals are here. Don't know why.
Chicken comes from China these days.
Yep. So Meatloaf had 40. This isn't right. Whoops. Let me make sure that I got the things right here. Give me a second. Let me just check it right here. Yeah, L2, LD1. Yeah, something's going on here because I had pork loin and, all right. Well, no. Pork loin and London broil. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is. I swear to you, it was the other way when I got it done. I guess I should do this stuff while I'm on computer. I will fix it while we get. I'll figure out what the deal is.
I trust you. I'm just giving you a hard time.
Okay, now I'm kind of bummed now. I don't know what the deal is.
I want to see the algorithms that were used to tally.
Yeah,
I
really.
think you need to be transparent with your voting system.
Oh, I'm sorry. Duh. My bad. Here they are. I'm sorry. No, you bring up a good point. So what I did is everybody's first option. So whatever they had as their first option got 5 points. Their second option got 4 points. Their third option got 3 points. Their fourth option got 2 points, and their fifth option got 1 point. Right. So that's how I counted them, and then I multiplied it by however many plates they purchased, and so there were the numbers right there. So that's how I did it. And meatloaf. Let's see. London broil was number 1. Pork loin was number 2, but meatloaf was in the running. So had we had 3 options, meatloaf, for all you weird people that eat meatloaf, meatloaf would have made the cut. So poor tilapia, somebody called it the trash fish, which I thought was funny. Poor tilapia just did not make the cut at all. So anyway, potatoes ran away by a mile. Evidently nobody likes rice as much. So there you go. Now you know. Okay, any other questions?
The like button.
Yep. Oh, I'm sorry. We had, that was Grant. So anybody else have a question on anything relative to Cocofest? Okay. We won't have another meeting before then, so hopefully you guys will either be there or you'll tune in. We will be streaming just like we are tonight. We'll be streaming on YouTube, and we'll be streaming on Facebook. And
have we figured out how he's going to do the video and how that's going to be set up?
We've got most of it figured out. Randy is here, and he took care of Tandy Assembly, so he's well versed on how to do that. And I think Mark Bosley is going to help as well. And Steve Strobridge said that he would be available to help as well. So I think we've got quite a few folks. And then Michael Lee offered, he along with Jason Timmons runs the Vintage Computer Festival Midwest. They've offered some portable public address systems for us to use in the various rooms, and some projectors and screens if we need them. So, and their facility is about a block away, so I'm not going to have them bring the stuff to the show. I'm going to just wait until we get there in the morning, and then if we need something, Jason is going to be in town, and so he can go get it for us from the event. We are borrowing 8 of their long, I don't know for those of you who've ever been to a Vintage Computer Festival, but they have these really long, like 8-foot long power strips that are metal that they use for the show. And we are borrowing 8 of those strips from those folks, which should be enough to get power to most of the locations. And then they're also going to let us borrow a number of the smaller power strips, which have 15-foot cords on them. So we should be able to have plenty of power to all the locations in the main show floor.
Awesome.
Okay.
And Randy, are we going to use the video for the auction too, like you guys did at Tandy Assembly? And
I just volunteered, so we're probably going to have a subsequent meeting about how we're configuring with all the people who are volunteering, and so it's not really decided yet. I figure between all of us, we're going to have plenty of equipment to pull that off. But I think that went well at Tandy Assembly, where we could have where people could drop off their auction stuff, and we not have to carry it up to the auctioneers or whatnot. But
yeah, and have to they can see the serial number and not have to hang it up.
Right,
show it to
exactly.
Everybody.
I thought it worked well at Tandy Assembly, but I need to decide with the video group, I guess, how we want to do that. But seems good.
I will try and set up a meeting. I've been working on a big migration for where I work, so I've just gotten over that. So I will
Okay.
set up a call so that we can talk through it. Probably be next week though.
That's fine. I'm available.
Okay. I forgot to mention something. So, I think Salvador's on, and before I leave Cocofest, I wanted to comment. So there's two people that have been helping me with some of the graphics. Salvador has been helping me with graphics, and also, let me make sure I got her name correctly. Give me a second here. Where is it?
That'll be Amy Grimwood.
Amy, right? Amy. It always says Amy G, so I don't know what her last name is. But anyway, it's Neil. It's one of your folks. I think she knows you.
Yeah.
Amy helped me. Amy helped me with a badge, and so did Salvador. And Salvador also helped me with a graphic that hopefully I can put on another item that we're going to have at the show, but I have not been able to get that procured as yet. But we've got, two folks that have been helping me with graphics, like the graphics that were on the lanyard, and also some other stuff that will hopefully be at the show. And then the one final thing that I was gonna suggest, or not suggest, but I'm gonna be bringing it. I know it's a little hokey, but it is a birthday party this year. It's gonna be our belated 40 and now 41st birthday party for the original Tandy color computer. So I was gonna bring a cake. My wife suggested that cupcakes would be much more portable, so I'm going to be bringing cupcakes for the birthday party. So if you all are interested, we can sing happy birthday to the Coco, but I'm going to step outside while you do that because that sounds really cheesy. But, I will definitely eat a cupcake. So I'll try and get
in singing.
Huh?
You're supposed to lead us in singing.
Yeah, that is not going to happen. Maybe Brian can do it, or maybe Tony can do it. But what I will try and do, if I can, is I will have some of the cupcakes will hopefully be vanilla, and I'll see if I can dye them to be green, red, and light blue, like the logo on the Tandy computer. So
is your daughter going to cook
we will
them?
see. My daughter or my wife, I think, they offered to do that, and so I might take them up on it.
Can I get two, please?
Cute. Okay, that's all I got on that, and I want to take a little bit of time for Eric to update us on the cleaning weekend that happened a couple weekends ago. So,
I just want to say something real quick.
yeah.
I have some stuff for the auction, including a Nook from Barnes and Noble. Hopefully, someone will be interested in this thing. So whatever you guys decide as to how we're going to do the auction, please let me know so that when I bring the stuff, I know where to go and all that good stuff.
Okay, we will do that.
Okay.
Okay. Eric.
Yeah, so
I see David Davidson just checked in there for the secretary's.
Yes, he did.
Okay, you got it.
Okay, go ahead, Eric.
Yeah, so cleaning went well. I think I started around 9 o'clock, drove up to my parents. We picked up everything. We brought it to Tony's house, and a good number of people turned out, so we were able to get it all done, everything washed, hosed down. We didn't really do a lot of sorting, but we did look at everything and put it in a clean bin. So everything is certified, clean, and ready for sale. So we have a lot of stuff, a lot of Coco stuff, some Sinclair things, tons of floppies if you like floppies, drives, just you name it. There's all kinds of stuff in there.
You also picked up 7 boxes back at my place that same day.
Yeah, that's right. We made another trip to
Bob's.
to Bob's house to grab the rest of it. So yeah, we managed to get it all out and cleaned up,
Okay.
and
It's a lot of work.
yeah, and it was it couldn't have been done without everybody coming out. So that was really good. The pizza was awesome. So I'm gonna have to.
Where'd you guys go?
Tony, do you remember the place that we got the pizza from?
Village Pizza in Carpentersville.
Bleach pizza? Bleach?
Village.
Oh,
Village.
okay. I was gonna say bleach pizza sounds highly unappetizing. So
No, it was probably the best pizza I've had in a long time. So that was pretty cool.
cool.
Worth all the work.
Well, I appreciate everybody pulling together and doing that.
Rich, did you have your hand up?
Yeah, if I want to back up to the subject of graphics for just a second.
Yeah.
Salvador also helped me by supplying me with a black and white or a grayscale version of our club logo. And my goal was to get the little black and white receipt printer, which we had last year and worked very well, to use that as the heading for any receipt that I print out. And it's taken me about 4 weeks, but I finally have succeeded, I think.
Yay, that's cool.
Not color, you see, it's just black and white, but it manages to come out with shades of gray pretty well. That's by the HP printer, but then this is by the actual receipt printer. And I've not decided which 4 different ones I will use yet, but
Not bad though.
it came out pretty well. So
I'm
on track to be able to print up a nice, classy-looking receipt for everybody that's on Tony's spreadsheet of who's paid and so on. So
well, if at first you don't succeed, keep sucking till you do succeed.
So thank you, Salvador, and I finally got it to work.
Right.
It took writing about 6 different programs because he gave it to me as a PNG file, and I had asked that it not be compressed because I didn't want to have to deal with decompressing it when I doing this all on the Coco. But PNGs actually use 2 stages of compressing the file. One they just refer to as filtering, and then the second one is called compressing. And so this was uncompressed, but it was filtered. So my first program was how do I extract the actual data out of a PNG file because it's got various headers and CRCs and stuff like that in it. So I had to study the file to figure out where all those were and then extract the data from around it. And then I had to write a second program because some of the CRCs or something, headers, were embedded in the middle of the data kind of, and I had to find out where they were and how to take them out. So that was the second program. Then I had to write the third program that did the defiltering so that I could get back to raw data. And then I had to write a few more programs, one to make it acceptable to the HP and a different one to make it acceptable to the Star printer.
Why didn't you just save it as a bitmap?
This is that's what I was.
It's the journey, Eric. It's the journey.
What I ended up.
Yeah, I was thinking that at the same time. I'm like, whoa.
Richard, aren't you
in paint?
Richard, aren't you glad that you started out the learning of BASIC from the Sinclair?
Well, yeah, these were all written in BASIC, so they were pretty slow. The one that did the change from grayscale to black and white was the most complicated, and that took about half an hour to process the file. But I got there.
Okay.
Wait, so
We're on over.
You have a ping image decoder for the Coco?
What was that?
Are you saying you have a ping image decoder for the Coco?
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. That's
But
really
only
cool.
if it's not compressed. I can deal with the filtering, but I can't deal with the compression.
We're 15 minutes overtime right now.
Yep, we need to finish up here, but we do have one big item in new business, and that is the election of our 2021, 2022 officers. And so I guess, Randy, do you want to do the honors?
Should I do mine first?
Well,
so the results have been
Go ahead.
have been released to the admin tools or the admin screen. I also sent them off to you, Jim, in a spreadsheet if you in your email.
Okay.
If you looked at that.
Okay. So go ahead.
But I do have a question. Can abstain actually win?
Let's hope not.
No, I'm just playing. That didn't happen. But
that's called the train is pulling out, and you're it.
That's right. Okay. Well, go ahead.
So it looks like for president, obviously, there was only one person running, and Jim, you are the winner. So congratulations, you're the president. Yeah. And for secretary, there was what do we have? Rich Bear and Brian Goers were competing, and Brian won. So Brian is the new secretary.
Oh,
okay.
All right.
Congrats,
Right.
Brian.
Yeah. And then for treasurer, there was just Eric. So Eric, you beat out abstain. Pretty high score on that, yeah. And for the last, for vice president, and obviously I'm not going in the correct order. It was just how that ended up. There was Grant and John Mark Mobley, and this is really close. And John won by 1 point. So, congratulations, John Mark Mobley. You're the vice president.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Have we checked to make sure that all the votes are like from contributing members and?
Yeah, they were all filtered by that. So yeah.
Okay. Well, congratulations to those who who now hold an office. We will hopefully be able to transition. It's not really something to motion or not, but I would recommend that. So, like for Brian, Brian, you may want to transition the treasurer's work before Cocofest, just so, or maybe work with Eric during Cocofest. So, as far as treasurer is concerned, and I think Rich, you have your choice of when you want to transition to Brian, the position of secretary. I would like to see us be able to fully transition to the next to the new slate by the November meeting, if we could.
Okay.
And then sorry, John Mark Mobley. I was going to type this stuff into the chat. So I think there is a piece of new business related to this that Bob wanted to bring up. So Bob, I'm gonna give you the floor.
Yeah, I like to make a motion that for this year and forward, because of the computer doing the work, that we have regular audits of the voting records. This year, I would like to see it headed up by Tony Pedraza, who's got the money portion, if you will, of all that went on.
Okay, there's a motion on the floor.
I'm not clear on what the motion is. He said an audit of voting records.
We must audit the vote, how it went.
And we
The election votes?
do an
Okay.
anonymous vote, correct? So we'll want to make sure that we retain that anonymity while still maintaining a highly accurate vote.
That's right. So what we're doing here is to cause a small number of people, minimum of 2, I should think, to do the auditing of the vote that went on. And that those people, of course, be sworn to secrecy.
So, any other questions on the nature of the motion? Okay. I have a valid motion on the floor. Oh, go ahead, Rich.
I do have a question. Typically, when you have something audited, it's usually by an independent entity.
No, not necessarily. Not with any club I was ever with. The auditing always went by the members.
I think if we have people auditing who did not run, I would say that's removed enough from the.
But I'm not sure what their process would be. I can't visualize what an audit would be.
Well, I don't want to hang it out there anymore, but basically it's the committee of 2 would get their information that is needed from Randy, so that this time the only thing I'm thinking of is the last election, which had 5 people whose votes didn't count for whatever reason. Okay, and we shouldn't have that happen again, where we're dangling out there wondering, was this valid or not? Because as I said, there is it's a computer doing it, and also there's a database that Randy puts out that does not contain any of this information. So that's why we need Randy to get that information to that committee of at least 2.
So the question I have is, are you saying that we don't accept the results of the election until an audit is performed?
I think this year that's not true. In other words, the way it came out is the way it's going to be for the next year till the next election. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. That this we're not waiting. We're not waiting. We're not going to. What can I say? We're not delaying anything by auditing later. If there's a problem, we discover the problem, we fix it. Okay, so it need not affect this election. We just want to know the output.
But if the problem does change the results,
we're saying that no, I'm saying that it will not change the results in such a way that we would have to tell one person, sorry, you didn't make it this year after all. No, we're going to accept what we heard tonight, and we're going to use the results of the audit to see if there's a problem and fix it for the future. Have nothing to do with this election tonight.
Tony, you had a comment?
I believe that the intent of this is to make sure that there are no Linda to the right. That there are no disenfranchised votes, and that everybody who did vote is a card-paying, a dues-paying member, as it were.
In good standing.
In good standing, right. End of comment.
Okay. Any other questions on the motion on the floor?
Does the motion actually appoint who is going to perform the audit?
Yeah, the way Oh, go ahead.
I recommended that Tony be one of them, and Tony could probably pick who helps him.
I mean, I can provide records in any way, and and where they were connected with for their dues. So, but I suppose that since I am close to the system, and I also can provide the code that was developed for the tallying, I definitely wouldn't be a good audit person, though.
I would say it sounds like the other piece that was in the motion was that it not be anybody who had run for an office this year. So it can't be anybody that was one of the officer candidates.
Yeah.
No candidates and no Weaver. So he's out
okay.
too.
Yeah.
So any other questions? Okay. I have a motion, but I don't have a second.
Well, I have a discussion question, I guess.
Well, we have to. I mean, should we second the motion and then discuss it before we vote on it? Or
certainly.
Yes.
Okay.
That's the order.
Okay. So I'm
I'll
waiting because if we don't have a second, then I'm not sure there's anything to discuss.
This is Eric. I'll second the motion.
Okay, so I have a valid motion on the floor, and I have someone who I have a discussion point. So, Rich.
Rather than discussion, this is kind of a question to Bob. He says that he knows of 5 people last year who were disenfranchised.
I don't know the names. I just know there were 5.
And how do you know that?
Because the Tandy List thing did have a list of those people. In other words, it said there were 45 people who made a vote and 5 more that were disenfranchised. Their vote didn't count. And I don't know their names. I'm not privy to their names.
That doesn't mean that they were. Since you don't know their names, you don't know if they were correctly, and it's not disenfranchised if they didn't have a right to vote. They were disqualified, is what it was. So 5 people were disqualified from the tally based on our records of them having paid dues or having not paid dues in that instance. But it doesn't necessarily mean that last year we had some kind of error.
No, well, we don't know because we didn't have an audit.
Right.
Okay.
So, right. Just to clarify, there was no discrepancy discovered after the vote last year.
So the 5 votes were votes that could not be counted. Hold on, Tony's got a comment.
Comment?
Tony? Yep.
Randy and I
Where can I park?
go around. Randy and I went over the names after the vote and got whatever apparent discrepancies there were cleaned up. I will say that. I can go back. We can probably go back and find out those names, but I don't have them in front of me at this time.
So you're saying there was basically an audit last year?
It was an unofficial audit, yes.
No, here's how it went down. I wanted to make sure that the people I was disqualifying from voting in the query really didn't pay. And so I ran the names by Tony, asking him, "Hey, I don't want to disqualify these folks, so let me know, did they pay?" And every one of them didn't pay. So but I think that was ahead of the actual tally last year. So we just wanted to make sure that the data was accurate so that we were not disqualifying votes.
So it sounds to me like, though, that this motion probably should be seen more as a formalization of what you did anyway, or a more formal process for what you did last year anyway.
Well,
right? Because you wanted to make sure.
the difference was that we had done that ahead of the voting,
Yeah.
ahead of the results, and this
Yep.
time we're doing it after the results, which I
But
think
it's
So
but it's not having anything to do with tonight's results. It
I
will not
think
change
what
anything.
Randy, yeah, I think what Randy is saying is if we're going to do this in the future, we may want to consider doing it prior to the vote ending in case it does have the capability of changing the vote, right, Randy?
that's exactly. I agree.
Yeah.
It should
But
be
in
part
but I
of our
understand
process.
yep, but I understand I feel like Bob's perspective on this is he's trying to be sensitive to the fact that nobody wants to go back and change the votes after the fact. I mean, the people who have voted, the announcement's been made, and so we really should certify that and call it done. But if we do find a discrepancy that would have materially affected the outcome of the voting, we should at least comment in a future meeting about what the issue was and how it's been fixed so that we don't have that issue repeat itself in a future year, right?
And I agree. And let me also be clear that the reason we did it last year was to make sure that the system itself was accurate. Because it's really, when it comes down to it, it's a data entry issue. It's making sure that our data is up to date. So, because if it's not up to date, it's going to produce garbage in, garbage out. So, so we wanted to make sure that the system was functioning properly before releasing those results last year. We didn't do it this year because we felt the system was functioning just as it did last year, and that the query was correct, not so much that the data couldn't be inaccurate. The data can always be inaccurate, but we wanted to make sure that the process was correct. And since we did not change the process from year to year, we didn't run that same audit this year before the tally.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Comment?
Yeah.
Comment?
Yeah.
It would, oh, wait a minute, let me formulate this right. This motion and second is primarily, I see it as putting forth a desire to create or document the process to make sure we know what the process is via the Tandy List tallying, and to make sure that any ifs, ands, or buts are covered in that process. It seems that they are, but again, it should be, I feel, having spent 20 years in QA, that the process itself should be documented. It's in code, but for the everyman, it would be easier for us to present something like that to the president and the vice president for their approval, that this is the way the system is going to validate those who are voting. Am I correct in that, Bob and Randy?
I agree with you.
I agree.
Okay. So you have agreement on that. Any other comments or questions or concerns?
I mean,
Rich?
I would say that.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did Rich?
Nope. Go ahead, Randy.
Nope. I would say that maybe we should form a committee on this, in a small one, but to not only audit the current voting, but to also document, but also to put a formal document together that describes the process.
There you go.
That's a good.
Okay.
That's a good output. Yeah.
Okay. So that committee would be comprised of people who weren't candidates and aren't you.
Well, I think that I may be a big part of it, the committee, because I'm the one to describe the process and to get the code.
Okay.
But
and to deliver the information.
Yeah, that's fair. But I would see you. Okay, so that's fair. But those that do the audit portion, the documenters could be anybody, but the auditor people in the committee need to be not the candidates and not
Or
you,
me.
Randy. No offense.
Okay.
Okay.
No
So that's
problem.
fine.
And with notice though that Tony is one of them, and we are not to limit it to just two. It could be more.
Okay. Okay. So those clarifications have been noted. Any other discussion?
Just a closing comment.
Yeah.
This motion and second is again, I'm just going to repeat the words. To me, is really a motion and second to create a readable, in plain English, process of the voting procedures, validations, and disqualifications.
I would disagree on a technical point. I think all the statement that you made is correct. However, I think at the end of this, there also needs to be a part of that document needs to be were there any issues identified, any deviations between what was wanted versus what was actually implemented? Because
Codicil accepted.
okay.
All right.
And if you don't know what codicil is, look it up.
Well, it's okay. You're the one that's going to run the committee, so I guess if you want to use the big words, you can. Okay. Any other discussion?
Yeah, I think we also need to be careful in understanding that machines do make mistakes. So if we find a mistake, we should just focus on correcting that and not, blaming or anything like that.
That's fine. I think that's a good point.
That would be part of the process.
Except that it's not the machine. Probably it was a human, but
yeah. Well, that's usually where it's occur, isn't it?
Yeah.
Garbage in, garbage out. Okay.
Exactly.
Any other discussion?
Garbage
Any
in,
other
garbage
discussion?
out is garbage in, garbage out is exactly right. We are doing the whole system, if you will, of which the computer's a part of. That's all.
Right.
Call for the vote.
Okay. I heard a call for the vote. So all those in favor of a committee to be headed by Tony with members picked by Tony, of those, the audit committee members cannot be candidates from this year or Randy. The other members can. To document and audit the voting process and produce said documentation. All those in favor, say aye.
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 Okay. Any opposed?
I
Okay.
guess
One,
I'm opposed.
two. I have two opposed. Okay. Motion carries. Non-unanimous. There you go. That's that item. Tony, I'm going to leave it to you on the timing and the committee members. So, but you can definitely do it after Cocofest because we need you to focus on Cocofest for the moment.
I was going to say, since it's not going to affect the current results, then yes, let's wait.
Yep. Any other new business? Okay. We're running a little over on time. Thanks for everybody joining today. I think I got my question answered on how the raffle thing was done, so I'm going to work on that. We won't have a meeting before the actual Cocofest. So, like I said, I hope all of you can either join virtually or will be available to visit with us November 6th and 7th. I thank you all for joining tonight. Talk to you later.
Yeah.
Good night and good job,
Good
Jim.
night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Jim,
Yes.
if you can hang on for just a minute.
Sure.
I actually have signed up for a table.
Wait,
Okay,
have you guys
hold on here.
ended the streaming?